Dawson Rider Wiki.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Welcome to my review for Go-Go Power Rangers issue 21. I sort of usually cover this series on an arc basis. This is going to be a little bit different-ish. I'll explain that at the end of the video though, so you don't have to hear that nonsense. For a quick explainer in case you were in any way confused about what's going on with these two series, because Go-Go used to be a prequel, and then, you know, PR kind of took place around after Green with Evil, then leading into Shattered Grid. But now, obviously, if you're familiar, the main series is now taking place about midway through what would be Season 2, when you have White Ranger Tommy, Rocky, Adam, and Aisha, and obviously the new Omega Ranger stuff. But now Go-Go takes place basically right where the original MMPR comic storyline left off. Like I said, it took place originally around Green with Evil, or after Green with Evil, excuse me, and then, you know, the Draken storyline happened, and then that interrupted everything with Shattered Grid. So this is basically picking up right around, give or take, where we left off in MMPR had Draken not happened. Because we open up the issue basically with a scene that's meant to mirror what happened in Shattered Grid when Tommy and Kim went on a date. Tommy went down the alley and he got stabbed, but this time something different happens. He gets stabbed by Kimberly's tongue, which shows you that the timeline has changed, or, you know, that's kind of an interesting little wiggly wobbly timey-wimey, because there's technically probably a version where everything happened without Draken, and then Draken messed everything up, and now there's this new timeline. So yeah, kind of interesting. If you're watching Walking Dead, it's basically like Fear the Walking Dead caught up to where The Walking Dead was in the timeline, and then The Walking Dead shot ahead of that. So that's kind of what it's like. It's kind of interesting because an early description for issue 41 came out mentioning the Omega Rangers, which obviously are probably these things we saw in the regular series, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of early to be setting that up, right? I didn't expect the gap to be so small, because basically Go-Go Power Rangers is taking place at the beginning of MMPR Season 2. The main series is taking place halfway through. So I didn't expect the gap to be half a season. Zed's there, establishes that new status quo. We got the Thunderzords. This is basically taking place exactly when Tommy lost his powers, the Shell Shock guy episode, where it's Tommy's last fight. It's a really funny timing for this, because a couple days ago or a week ago, the Power Rangers account put out a who's better, Green or White Ranger, and everyone's always like, man, the Green Ranger was so badass. But yeah, when he was evil, and then as soon as he turned good, he was pathetic. And that was kind of funny that, I said pathetic really weird. Oh, so much of that time during Season 1 and Season 2 was like, oh my god, poor Tommy, he hurt his ankle, we gotta get him some ice, he's losing his powers, the poor baby. And I like in this issue, he even said, yeah, I'm gonna be a liability if I keep limping along like this. But it basically retreaded over a couple of those beats, which was kind of interesting. So it kind of takes place, surprisingly, and seemingly right around when Green Ranger lost his powers. So that's surprising, because I thought they were trying to do it Hannah Montana style and have the best of both worlds. So you have the Green Ranger in Go-Go and then White Ranger in Necessary. Lots of long-winded explanations, but I'm kind of going over the status quo, which is basically around when Tommy lost his powers. And things aren't that different from the TV show, other than the dialogue being better. And the same stuff, like Tommy's leaving after he lost his powers, Jason feels guilty, Zed's there. It kind of is all that same stuff. And then at the very end, you have Jason doing kind of a workout, and he's kind of, you know, guilting over himself over everything. And then all of a sudden he hears this voice that's telling him, oh, it's not your fault, and stuff like that. And it appears to be, it appears to him, and it is, one of the emissaries, you know, the characters that kind of are like liaisons for the Morphin Masters, and they transform between different Ranger forms of whatever color they're designated to. This is the blue one. He's all cloaked up, very reminiscent of the Dimensions and Danger cloaks, and he's shifting between Ninja Steel blue and Time Force blue, and that's where it ends. This was basically a setup issue, like I said. It didn't blow me away. I thought it was pretty solid. Like I said, 85% of it, no, 90% of it is basically just status quo MMPR Season 2 stuff, and it's not till the end that we get a teaser, but I definitely think it's interesting how connected these are going to be. They're even more connected than I thought. I have a theory it could be bunnies. You remember in Season 2 when they had to explain why Jason, Zach, and Trini weren't there, and so as a result they only appeared in suit footage with voiceovers, and then so you had Tommy, Billy, and Kimberly always hanging out with their replacements. Kind of like they explained the peace conference, I have a theory that they're going to do something similar where the Trini, Zach, and Jason Omega Rangers team is assembled before they even leave, And that's the reason that they're always missing from like the team dynamic, is because they're doing this stuff and then they have to quickly rush back to their regular ranger duties, and maybe that's why they leave. They're like, okay, we can't balance this, we need replacements here so we can go be on Mega Rangers full time. Like, I knew these were going to be connected, but I didn't know they were going to be so close together. I'm really interested to see how that happens now. I get a feeling a lot of the backstory here will inform what's going on. I mean, I don't get a feeling, that's pretty much what's happening. The backstory is going to inform what's going on in the main series, so I think it's really nice to read these two together. But I'm also really interested to see where they go after this. Like, after the Necessary Evil arc, what time frame will each of them take place in? Like, will this stay in season 2 and then the original go to MMPR season 3? We'll have to see. But overall, I'd probably give this issue like a 7. It wasn't really a bad issue, it wasn't a great issue, it was just kind of solid, and it kind of set up some intrigue, but there really wasn't anything, you know, groundbreaking until the last panel. But anyway, that's about it for this one. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps, and ring that bell so you can get notifications for all my videos. Helps me out a lot. Till next time, Dawson Ryder, signing out.